I'm living my most abundant reality.
It's no doomsday. My cocoons, I let go. Hey, it's epoch energy. It's like fresco. Our creator wants to see what we do with limitless possibility. It's our flow, like we maxed out all the numbers in the elevators. Shout out to Nostradamus, bank account seeing a bunch of commas. Recording Kingdom Things podcast, transmissions in my pajamas. Celebrate, celebrate. My name is Ashley-Nicole. This is my song, Celebrate. Available to stream on my YouTube channel, Ashley-Nicole Music on YouTube. You'll see my melanated face, my afro, and the profile picture. Subscribe to join my musical journey to a healed and balanced human culture of planet Earth. Epoch the album as well, you'll find Celebrate to stream for free. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah, the Jewish culture widely awaited Mashiach, the Hindu culture prophesied Kalki, full circle moment, alert, alert. So are you. Why, Ashley? What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. We are all limitless potentials, awakening to the remembrance that in which is the fact that we are limitless potentials. We are rapturing, the rapturing being coming into higher frequency existence via our mind, body, soul, and spirit to embody the higher fundamental existential remembrances, wisdoms that are our divine limitless remembrance that we are divine limitless creation. Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is my podcast. It's available to stream for free on YouTube as well as Spotify. A timeless catalog, video and audio transmissions where I use my shaman mama capabilities, my connection to the oneness of all things, ESP, channeling, mediumship skills, psychic abilities, to commune in my inner space with all things, to channel wisdoms and uplifting frequencies, healing frequencies to assist us as we awaken in the masses. Again, Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream for free on YouTube. Timeless catalog. I actually this morning premiered the installment in which I channeled Neville Goddard. He offered his divine potentials in which he is, limitless potentials in which his frequency is, his existence, to co-create a transmission, to be remembrance, that all is one, all is within. Literally, as our perception of the light spectrum is one in which is directly correlates to our belief systems and how we perceive and believe our existence to be. We're awakening to the existential remembrance that all energy is one energy, and the optics, the way we perceive reality or all energies, is a part of our existential evolution or the makings of us. Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips on YouTube and Spotify. We are remembering that we are limitless potentials having a human dream, human planet Earth dream. Y'all, hello Facebook community, friends and family that know who I am. And for anyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I'm a channel for the divine. I'm actually the biblically prophesied Messiah, Jewish culture widely awaited Mashiach, the Hindu culture prophesied Kalki, full circle moment, alert, alert. So are you. Why, Ashley? What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. I use my shaman mama capabilities, my psychic abilities, my spiritual gifts, my ESP, my channeling mediumship skills to channel healing energies and wisdoms, divine wisdoms and energies within all of my mediums. To mention my podcast, Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, which is available to stream on YouTube as well as Spotify for free. The whole catalog, over 700 transmissions. You know, we're all awakening in the masses, or we're coming online to our existential perception, our multidimensionality, our dimensions of our humanism that are beyond, what we perceived in our past as humanisms. We're actually in biblically prophesied times, second coming of Christ, other ancient prophecies on our planet. We're awakening to the remembrance that we're divine presence, or one with all things, limitless potentials, most commonly termed God, Allah, Shekinah, Hashem, Prime Source, and Most High, within our realm of creation, our reality. Again, in my podcast, it was an intuitive mandate, soul guidance, the co-creation of my podcast, my soul or universal forces. I channel energies and messages from the oneness of all things, using divination or different spiritual soul gifts. I publish the energies and messages in the podcast. Later, in a few minutes, I'm going to start another live. And it's actually going to be a broadcast of one of the Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips podcast installments. Again, available to stream for free on YouTube and Spotify. I'm fatigued, y'all. I'm going through some energetic upgrades, and I can tell because my soul told me. And I get like chills in my inner space, like my whole body like have chills, and I got some migraines. My soul's like, Ashley, it's a DNA upgrade. You know, you're healing, you're regenerating molecularly using your consciousness, your expanded awareness of yourself. If you are unaware of what consciousness is, you can search it. You can look at my podcast. I do plenty of transmissions where I speak about it. You can also, do your own research on consciousness, understanding of consciousness. It's basically the programming of the energies in which we operate through and as. Through our sciences, we know all things are energy. The energy, the formulaic composition of our energy in any moment co-creates our conscious awareness of ourselves or of reality, because the energy in which we embody feeds us thought patterns, understandings of ourself, and in turn reality. Principle of correspondence, as below, so above. Everything in our reality is a mirror of the energies in which we are. The Divine Remembered Me, which I recorded in my podcast, a lot of 99% of ancestral wisdoms and energies that were channeled through me, through me, to assist me with remembering on a DNA, soul, genome, mind, body, spirit level of who I am in the divine, who I was created to be. We're all limitless. Go into your inner space, which brings me to the Facebook Live community call to action. Sit with yourself for at least 2 hours a day, every day. Ask yourself, hey soul, what is it that I need to know to come into greater conscious awareness, conscious embodiment of my limitless potentials? As universally aligned, universally assigned, my authentic soul's evolution for the upliftment and regeneration of all things. The Divine reminded me so I could be a resource to help others. Whatever you're going through, understand you're not alone. Coming online to a greater consciousness expansion, spiritual awakening, DNA activation, genome activation. We experience a lot of psychic gifts seemingly overnight. Extrasensory perception gifts seemingly overnight. And it can be a scary process, if you don't know where to go for resources. There's my podcast, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, again, available to stream for free on YouTube and Spotify. I also have another healing channel. It's called Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. It's available to stream for free on YouTube. We do Powwow sessions over there, y'all. Whenever I'm calming my inner space with my ancestral forces, using my soul gifts, shamanism, psychic abilities, I'm calming my inner space or meditating, praying to come into greater conscious awareness of subconscious limiting beliefs in which I held or hold, to eliminate them, or to become consciously aware of these subconscious beliefs, to evolve my beingness, my soul, my mind, body, soul, and spirit into greater limitless potentials, embodiments of greater limitless potentials. I call these powwow sessions. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. We do powwow sessions over there. It gets really cool, multidimensional. So does Kingdom Things Podcast. Beautiful, uplifting. Again, Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment is available to stream for free on YouTube. Normally I cook my dinner. Well, that's what I've been doing, cooking, preparing dinner, and then sharing the wisdoms I'm being guided to share, doing lyrical breakdowns. I'm also a singer-songwriter. My music, Ashley-Nicole Music, is available to stream for free on YouTube. A lot of genres, lyrics, healing frequencies. Do not replace your professional medical advice with any of my content. I heal myself in the spirit, and I channel the healing energies, frequencies, lyrics into my music as well. My rice just dinged. Let me go grab my rice. I'm going to dress my bowl. We're going to say peace, and I'm going to go start the other live. We're actually going to watch whoa, yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, so I was like, actually talk about it. We're actually going to watch the live where I channel the cockroach beam. And I tell the story. We're going to watch the Kingdom Things Podcast installment where I channel the cockroach beam. Not a live, it's an installment. Episode of Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips where I channel the cockroach beam. I didn't realize, because mind you, I came back into this remembrance of my inner space through the spirit, through God guidance, intuitive guidance, heart guidance, soul guidance. So I didn't realize how prevalent this knowledge about these multidimensional beings is and are on our planet. Baby, you can research it. There's so many governments that have declassified, classified documents about our government's co-creation with insectoids, gray aliens, Nordic aliens. Baby, official government documents from all over the planet. Baby, ex-government agency workers, government officials that do interviews about these things all the time. I didn't realize how prevalent it was. But I learned through my inner space of my soul. Through my soul space about all of this. And I channeled it into the podcast because my soul wanted me to learn from my soul. So like I could be who God created me to be, you know. I didn't realize how prevalent it is because I just watched this interview with an he's an ex-government official. He worked in government agencies and things, but in Germany. And he said, yeah. No, it's another podcast. They interviewed a U.S. congressman. They were interviewing a U.S. congressman. And they were talking about how, yeah, there was a preliminary U.S. Congress hearing with they call it whistleblowers. Whenever people come forward to divulge information that's not readily known by the masses, they call these people whistleblowers. There was a preliminary hearing with a U.S. Congress preliminary hearing with my soul said as a member of a government official. The soul said government official. The soul said CIA. That's what I'm being guided to say. This, and I believe it. Central Intelligence Agency, former CIA employee. Soul said yes. Was testifying, but he wasn't under oath. He was testifying. He wasn't under oath. It was a preliminary U.S. Congress hearing. And they had the video of it. And they said in the podcast, they were talking to another U.S. Congress member. A U.S. Congress member was like, be clear. He's not under oath. I'm not saying that he's lying, but he just isn't under oath in this preliminary hearing because it's not an official U.S. Congress hearing. And he said that, I want to channel this correctly. I want to put nothing in nobody's mouth because I don't remember exactly what he said. But he was just sharing information in regards to the government's knowings and conscious awareness, knowings and communications with insect. Soul said yes, communications with insectoid beings, multidimensional beings, Nordic race, multidimensional beings, gray alien, multidimensional beings. What was the other one? It was 4 of them. It was 4. I can't remember. Okay, aliens, gray, insectoids, grays. I can't remember. My soul said that's on purpose. Actually, just it was the gray aliens, insectoids, and Nordic races. I was like, whoa. I was like, dang. I remember all of this in my inner space. I was like, dang. And I just trusted my soul. My heart said, hey, Ashley, the divine said, hey, Ashley, whatever steps I tell you to take, just take them. I'll tell you why later, just take the steps. Full circle moment, we have all these Congress hearings to get this. We have a whole committee that's been created in our U.S. Congress to working to get all of these files on extraterrestrials, the United States of America's dealings with extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, to get all these files declassified. There's a whole committee that's been formed within our U.S. Congress to get these files declassified. And I actually channeled up this prophecy. My soul's like, hey, all over the planet, y'all's governments are going to be declassifying information in regards to y'all's multidimensional existence, and in our government's knowings about our multidimensional existence. I channeled this in my podcast. We could watch that episode, but we're going to watch the cockroach being episode. Should we just watch that episode? My soul said yes. Yeah, we can watch that episode. I know which one it is. We'll watch that one instead of the other one. I got the divine. I got it at the end too. It was a baby in the moment. Divine revelation alert. Let me fix up my bowl. I'm gonna broadcast the episode on live in a different live transmission. I'm gonna close this one out and start a different one, a new one. So just scroll up my page and you'll see it. Go to my page, you'll see it. That's wild. Oh, my head. These migraines. Oh, shoot. I didn't tell, baby, I have not told Facebook family any of that. My identity in the spirit. No, then go watch the podcast and find that out. Yeah, I was gifted my divine inheritance, or like my identity in the spirit. We know what biblical as a 144,000. Biblically called the 144,000. Me and my divine counterpart, my twin flame, we're the leading energy of the 144,000. Meaning we have a responsibility. And why, Ashley? Tell the folks why. Because of our soul's history and our soul's evolution. We would know an ancient soul. Because of our soul's history and evolution. We have a responsibility to go in our inner space, to come more, pray, meditate, to become more consciously aware of our limitless potentials or our divine wisdoms, to embody the divine wisdoms and practice the divine wisdoms, to assist with evolving humanity into greater conscious awareness of our divine wisdoms or our limitless potentials. Because as one human evolves, we all evolve, because we're quantumly entangled through our DNA, through our cells, molecularly. We're truly one energy. So as one of us evolves, we all evolve. You know, and it's all of our jobs to go in our inner space and get our spiritual identity and know that you are limitless, and know that you came here to create abundant, magnificent things that shift the whole paradigm of our humanism, to assist with shifting the whole paradigm of our humanism. So me and my divine counterpart, we have we get to continue to go into greater conscious awareness of our limitless potentials, by healing our human, or accepting our human, radical self-acceptance of ourselves, to garner the wisdoms as to why we show up the way we show up. And that's that's a human dharmic purpose. Radically accept ourselves and garner and understand everything in our reality is one with ourselves. Everything we experience in our inner space is one with ourselves, if we like it or not. Asking ourself, our soul, limitless potentials, what is this supposed to teach me about myself? To garner the wisdoms, to be the wisdoms, to emanate energies of wisdoms or wellness, to assist with uplifting all things. There's other dimensions to the prophecy. To my spiritual inheritance, I'm excited for you to go inside and align with yours. You know who you intended to be on a God-Goddess level, in your different phases or evolutionary stages of existence, as limitless potentials having a human experience, galactic beings having limitless potentials having a galactic being experience. Yeah. Yep. So we're about to roll into this episode. I don't know what's in it. I might say that. I think I might say that in this episode with the divine revelation about our governments declassifying classified documents about our multidimensional existence. I think I might talk about it a little bit in this episode. So I want to go ahead and break the ice. Like, Ashley, you ain't tell us that. I know, let me tell you right now. Let me break the ice. Baby, icy, baby. Didn't nobody know there was ice, Ashley? I knew there was ice, though. Y'all didn't know that there was ice. I knew there was ice, so I just wanted to break it real quick before you watch this episode. There's a lot of stuff in here. And in my soul, I didn't know this all my life. Like, I knew who my husband was. I got this divine revelation to keep me breadcrumbed on my soul path, to keep me, not steering too far away from my soul's intentions. I knew who my divine counterpart would be. I just knew it as husband since I was 9 years old. And that kept me persistent heading towards my divine purpose, even though I didn't know how big my divine purpose is. All of our purposes are huge divine purposes, because we are humanity. We are prophecy fulfilled. We are the assistants of the evolution of all things, because we're dimensions simultaneously one with all things. So I didn't know my divine inheritance, or who I intended to be on a God-Goddess level. I didn't know all of this. 144,000, baby. Intergalactic goddess. I didn't know all of this. Omnipotent etheric presence. I didn't know all of this. Some people remember. But my soul's like, it was intentional, Ashley. My soul said, tell the folks why. It was intentional, because it would have been too much for you to hold. And that goes for a lot of humans, for all of us. Whatever we know at any time of our realities about ourselves, the conscious awareness in which we have about ourselves is intentional. It's a part of our evolution. It's a part of the makings of us. So I didn't know all this. I didn't know it. And the divine God, my soul was like, it was intentional, Ashley. And I had resentment about it, not knowing these things, because I felt like I would have been, I don't know what I felt like. I do know. I felt like I would have been just more reserved with myself and more focused and I would have gone inward more and prayed and meditated and just been relaxed and stopped like trying to chase things in the world. Because I would have known that, I would have remembered that I'm one with all things. I'd be like, divinely aligned, divinely timed, everything's going to come together. So I have to forgive this. And every time it comes up, I forgive it. And I talk about it in the podcast. In the older podcasts, the whole podcast, Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, all of the catalog is timeless. Again, available to stream for free on YouTube and Spotify. I talk about this in the audio clip styles. I'm living my life and I get downloads. My soul's like, hey, record this message for the podcast. And I talk about it. How I was like angry with God at the divine of my soul. Was like, I was pissed that, I felt like I was kept from myself. And my soul was like, hey, Ashley, it's all been intentional. God was like, I didn't need you to know who you were yet. Because I didn't need you activated. Because for one, I didn't want people to think you were crazy. If you were talking like this when you were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you would have been in an insane asylum, in a crazy house. If you would have had all this knowings and connection to multidimensional forces, yeah. If you were down in Brazil, down there somewhere, or over in India, you would have been worshipped. But over where you live, baby, they don't see magic. They don't see multidimensional magic like that. So God's like, I didn't need you activated yet. I didn't need you to know who you were yet. And I would talk to my ancestral forces when I was little, and they said they had to back off. My ancestral forces and my spirit guides, my soul made the decision to back off. We know it's like spirit guides. They made the decision to back off when I was little, because I would talk to myself and I was talking to them, and they're like, what we had to do is like back off. Again, we didn't want people to think, we didn't want anybody to think you were crazy. So we talked to you through your inner space, and we came through as epiphanies. We sound like epiphanies, like you were just introspecting, reflecting through your inner space. That's what I've been doing all my life. And I thought I was just having internal dialogue, introspecting, reflecting. My spirit guy was like, no, baby, we was talking to you. Ancestral forces, etheric, angelic forces, seraphim, like, no, we were talking to you. I was like, whoa. So I've had all of this, breaking the ice with my soul. Like, where were you at? Like, I felt like, there was times where I felt like I was alone. It was like, and my soul was like, we were there too. My soul was like, you were never alone, baby. There was this one time I was a kid. I was in my room, and I just felt so alone. I just felt so alone. I started crying because I just wanted somebody to talk to. And then my soul said, "Do you remember that?" I said, "Yes." A couple of days ago, my soul was like, "Yes." My soul was like, "Hey, we were trying to talk to you. We were trying to let you know that we were trying to talk to you, but you were perceiving reality because you were so dense. You were perceiving reality invertedly, so you felt like you needed you were desiring to talk to somebody, but we were trying to talk to you." I was like, "Whoa." Whoa. And I would just always be in my room creating stuff. I would spend a lot of time growing up. I would spend a lot of time alone in my room creating things, introspecting, reflecting, listening to music. My soul's like, yeah. And that's like what I do now. My soul's like, yeah, you've always been who you are. Your conscious awareness of who you are is just what changes. So, and that's for every human. That's for every being. God's like, I'm not about to turn you on. The episode is actually titled 144 Part 2. Part 1. 144. Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, the installment titled 144 Part 1, as well as 144 Part 2. The divine's like, I'm not turning you on to, or activating you into your divine remembrance for you to be the only one, for you to be a savior. God's like, all things are within. We are past the era of thinking they all needed one Messiah. It's funny how we're going into the Messianic era, but the Messianic era is remembering how we're all our own Messiahs. I actually channeled this into a song. My ancestral forces were speaking to me. It's called You Are Your Messiah. And it's streaming Ashley-Nicole music on YouTube. Yeah, so the divine's like, yeah, And then forgoing the ideology, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, forgoing the ideology of sin. The divine's like, Ashley, you're a blueprint. You're an energy of how the intimacy in which I want to connect with all humans. For y'all to know how one y'all are with me and not be afraid of yourselves. Not be afraid of the fact that you're one with limitless potentials, divine forces. You know, I'm one of many. Because my soul is like, hey, Ashley, we know y'all are so used to being the only ones that are seeing reality in the stark, linear, one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional, one-dimensional form. I actually channel Cook Up. Kingdom Things podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips called the installments titled Cook Up. The divine's like, there's 20, this is a message I was gifted to share. The divine's like, I have 24 time capsules or 12 twin flame couples, and y'all are activating just a little bit above the masses. All of humanity are activating just a little ahead of the curve to the remembrance and the energetic embodiment that y'all are limitless potentials. To magnify all of humanity, to activate to the remembrance and embodiment of our limitless potentials. And then my soul was like, hey, Ash. And then a couple of years later, my soul let me marinate, sit, own this, integrate with these understandings. In a couple of years, actually like the last year, I've been really working on remembering the multidimensionality of reality. My soul's like, yeah, you have this understand there's other timelines or other people that have a similar story, but they're in a different dimension. Or they're playing their part. They're being their authentic frequency patterning in a similar blueprint. They have an understanding of 12 twin flames, but they're 24 different people. I was like, whoa. And I got a galactic understanding and the existential nature understanding of this. Existentially, baby, I didn't think we were going to get into it. I was going to make my rice bowl. We was going to go upstairs, baby, and I have all this chat. But hey, it's coming through, so let's talk about it. I was gifted an existential remembrance or understanding. The divine creates like the Garden of Versailles, like a garden. The Garden of Versailles. If you look at the Garden of Versailles, it's many beautiful flowers, but a lot of the patterns repeat. It's like the same flowers, but they're organized in different ways. God's like, that's how the galaxies are. I'll take energy. Like I have a better analogy, I'm being guided to say both. God's like, I'll have a planet over here. It's a planet, and it mirrors this planet. But this planet has helium on its periodic table, and this planet doesn't. And this planet is just like these two planets, but this planet, they grow pepper plants, and these two planets don't grow pepper plants. This is how God learns about Himself. Like, what are these small? And we know this. It's like almost like the scientific. It's like the soul said, just like the scientific method. Just change small variables in each planet or each community to see how the different changes evolve and grow the species, beings, ecosystem. So it's like that in our general masses. You have the 12, and there's another 12 in this timeline or other dimension where they have an understanding of themselves that are a little bit different than this 12's understanding of themselves and their purpose. Just small, slight changes to create multidimensionality. And then God, the divine, also told me, hey, Ashley, y'all are not so different. Y'all are not different. Like I create all of the 7, 8, 9 billion people from 12 blueprint designs. Y'all got the 9 billion people from a 12 blueprint, only 12 blueprints that I use. This is an analogy, but it's like there's a minimum, but the soul, God's like, no, I want you to teach it like this, the 12. Okay, yeah. 12 blueprints of possible, 12 blueprints of humans. All 9 billion people come from the 12 blueprint models of what type of human you're going to be. You know, who you're going to be. God's like, understanding our unity and reveling in the differences, understanding differences create the whole, or evolution, or growth, or even you or I. I couldn't be who I am without the differences of everyone else, or without the embodiment of everyone else, because we co-created each other's existence. You couldn't be who you are without the differences that are everyone else, or everyone else. You couldn't be who you are. We actually call each other into creation, or we manifest each other, because whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. We were created to be a community, or to be solutions, remedies for our community, our humanism. So we actually manifest and call each other into creation. So I wanted to break this ice and share these wisdoms before we go to this podcast. And in this live, and we're about to go watch it. I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all on the other live. Again, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream for free on YouTube and Spotify. Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment on YouTube. I'm also a home chef, Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Whatever the ancestors tell me to put in the pot, the pan, the baking dish, this is what we put into the pot, the pan, the baking dish. We go to the grocery store, we use mystery ingredients. Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream for free on YouTube. Again, my music, Ashley-Nicole Music, is available to stream on YouTube. There are many Ashley-Nicole Musics, the 12 blueprints. For the 9 billion people, there are many Ashley-Nicole Music on YouTube. You'll see my profile picture, melanated face, big afro, big beautiful afro. That's me. Ashley-Nicole Music on YouTube. You'll find my healing frequencies. Don't replace your professional medical advice with any of my content. I'm also an author. I authored the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. Bless me, which was a part of my rapid spiritual awakening. My soul's like, hey, Ashley, you don't remember who you are. Sit down, we're going to write these books through you to help you remember who you are. That's where I channeled the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. It's a 3-part book series. The first 2 parts are Asia's story. Asia's story. The first book is titled Coming Home, the Story of Asia. The second book is titled The Story of Asia, I'm Home. Asia is a teenage girl growing up in the New York City foster care system. She's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame Chase in the hallway of her school, Manhattan Prep. She goes through a lot of existential crises, which assist her with awakening to the remembrance that she is limitless potential, that she is unconditional love, to embody herself and co-create a reality that reflects the limitless potentials as well as unconditional love in which she is. The third part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is my other half. My other half is a twin flame, divine counterpart journey back home to God inside. One soul, 2 bodies, many lifetimes. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Each lifetime says that their love can't work, baby. The book is prophetic. Now, when I channel these books, baby, this is 2022. Baby, I am asleep like a rock. Baby, I have little to no remembrance of my divine plan, my divine self, my divine potentials, my limitless nature. My soul's like, hey, we want to remember you. Channel these books. The books are prophetic. They're really powerful. I want to do a spoiler alert, but I can't. I don't want to. You gotta go purchase the books. You gotta go read the books. Now you can have digital downloads. If you're doing digital downloads, it's 3 separate downloads, $29.97 plus tax. If you're getting the books mailed to your home, paperback copies, it's 2 bindings. The first 2 parts, Asia's story, which are 2 books, Coming Home, the Story of Asia, followed by The Story of Asia, I'm Home. One binding titled Asia's Story is one binding. The third story is in a separate binding, my other half, $29.98 plus tax for the 3 stories and 2 bindings nonetheless. If you want to go straight to the links to get straight to the Amazon bookstore to get to my books, because there are other works of literature that are not mine, but they're titled the same, similar things or the same thing. Go to the latest episode of Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips on YouTube or Spotify. Select the description of the video, tap on the description, and you'll have the links to all of my works, including my literature. Tap on the links. It'll specify paperback as well as digital to take you straight to the Amazon bookstore to purchase the books. I also have Asia's Story, the animated series. It's available to stream for free on YouTube. The multidimensional experiences in which I have conscious awareness of, because we're limitless. I look like I'm just standing here doing this live, but I'm also doing infinite other things in infinite other dimensions. My conscious awareness of my multidimensionality, I channel it. Same for you. You're sitting here watching the live, but you're doing infinite other things in infinite other dimensions. The conscious awareness in which I have of my multidimensionality, I channel into Asia's Story, the animated series, which is available to stream for free on YouTube. Again, go to the latest Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips video, tap on the description, and then you'll be able to see the link to take you over to AP Short Stories on YouTube, which is my author's channel, which is where Asia's Story, the animated series, is streaming. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truth. Choose to get that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you embody, be more of your limitless potentials. My soul's like, Ashley, own who you are. Speak about it. And I do in my content, but this is content, so we get to speak about it. Own who you are. Own who we are. Own who you are. I'm gonna see y'all in a live in about 5 minutes to watch this episode of Kingdom Things Podcast. Bye, y'all. Love you.
I'm living my most abundant reality.